this week. I got back from New York yesterday. Oh, I have so much catching up to do. Yeah, I'm heading to school right now. I have 2 classes today, back to back, for a total of 4.5 hours. I feel like it's gonna be pretty brutal. I'm not used to being in the classroom for that long, but we're gonna make the most out of it. I've been reading poetry and sonnets all morning for this class that I've missed the past 2 classes. I'm almost caught up on readings, but not completely, because I stayed up all night editing a video, and then I have an essay due tonight that I wrote this morning. So it's been a very intense day. The essay is for the first class that I have. It's like a shorter essay. It's just a page long, but it's single space, so maybe 2 pages double spaced, talking about the narration in The Yellow Drawing Room by Mona Caird. It's more of a, not a think piece, but it's like giving your opinion on the narration using Wayne Booth's types of narration article, where he kind of argues that calling it first person or third person is not really that important at the end of the day. It's more the attitude of the narrator, whether they have bias, their distance from the other characters, from the author, the implied author, from the reader. The whole exercise is to kind of take one of the pieces that we've read. I chose Mona Caird's The Yellow Drawing Room and delve into who the narrator is, what kind of narrator it is, what the effect that kind of narrator has on how readers understand, take in the story. Really enjoyed writing it. I hope that I wrote it well. I hope that I still possess the ability to analyze. I feel like I've lost my brain cells over the summer. I always feel this way when I get back in school. I'm gonna read for the next 15 minutes, then I'm gonna catch my bus to campus. I am super chill today with jean trackies and this Anine Bang sweatshirt. Also, my room's looking weird because my mom's redoing it, bless her soul. I got back from Copenhagen and was like, I can't exist in this space. Like, my things don't fit. I have too much crap. Like, I'm a hoarder, I have to say. Everything is sentimental to me. I have a hard time letting go of things, even the smallest little knickknacks and stuff. So my room is getting really not the vibe. She painted all the walls. We got some new shelves and things so that I can exist in my room without feeling suffocated by all the shit that I have. I'm gonna do a big clothing sale in Montreal. Stay tuned. Okay, let's go read. I'm reading a bunch of poetry, women poets in the 1700s, like the 18th century. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh my god. Like, I'm not really acquainted with poetry. I don't know poetry very well. Okay, let's get to it. I can't read poetry. Comes not down the steep, though he had vowed, when the sun's beams at noon should sidelong gill. Cave's wide entrance he would swift descend to bless his ensalada. I don't even know what that means. My snack of choice is always hummus with crackers. I like Rain Coast crisps, or I'll do Sesmark. Anyways, today was good. My seminar was so much better than I expected. I was so scared. I don't know anything about poetry or like romanticism or anything like that. And I got my manual last night, so I couldn't really prep that well, but the vibe of the seminar was just so laid back. Everyone is so smart and like makes really smart comments and stuff, but the vibe isn't like scary. Everyone in the class seems really nice. So I'm really happy about that because I was scared. I'm definitely the dumbest person in that room, which usually I'm like, but I think for this kind of seminar setting, it's kind of nice because I know I'm gonna learn so much. It's gonna be a challenge, but I'm excited. As I've said 50 times at this point, I'm just reading right now Grace Notes by Bernard McLaverty. It's for my other seminar, which is about sound and listening and stuff. And so far, I really notice the emphasis on sound. Like, every description is kind of framed around what you hear, which I think is so like, for example, the window was covered with shuddering droplets of rain. The engine note changed, went up an octave as they raced for takeoff. I can picture it so well because of the sound description, which I feel like is rare. I feel like usually it's very much like what you see, not so much what you hear and the other senses. I think this will be a really cool read. I have so much to do. I still need to finish that essay. It's due at midnight and I have done most of it, but I need to like really get into it. So I think I'm gonna do that right now before dinner and then I'll read after. Good morning. Henry and I spent all morning shooting UGC for Sprinter, which has been so fun. And we're gonna go now to Atelier September Cafe in Saint-Henri to get some matcha and just hang out, recharge from our very busy work morning. It was really fun to play around with. Like, all the colors and stuff, very up my alley. Basically, UGC is user-generated content. I'm shooting for them, but don't have to post it. It's more like my aesthetic and stuff. I also shopped some stuff for uni, which is this really cool body serum. So it's been kind of a work morning. Now we're just gonna go decompress a bit and go to Henry's, hang out by the pool, shoot a couple more things for Sprinter. And then I have to come home, go to this event with Mila in Old Montreal, and then I'm going to send her dinner au Centre-Fille with my aunt, my parents, like the whole family. And lastly, we're having dinner at Place Carmin, which is really delicious French indoor, outdoor restaurant. So very fun day ahead. Also, sneak peek, my parents have been redoing my room. That's my New York suitcase. Love that for me. But yeah, I'll show you guys once I'm all done reorganizing my life. That is god awful. Let's go. Sprinter. Let's finish this job up. We just did the VR experience at Centre-Fille. Insert video of Dad. And now we're going to Place Carmin for dinner. Cute. C'est tout droit. Family night. Non, c'est tout droit. Yeah, that was so funny. Honestly, kind of hurt my brain a little, but time to muck. I'm starving. I want like fresh orange juice. Afternoon. I had a call at 7:30 this morning and I have been working ever since. And then I also submitted my photos for my Vagabond campaign, my uni campaign, my L'Oreal campaign, which is a lot. And then I've just been reading outside with Jamie, which has been so nice. Reading Grace Notes by Bernard McLaverty. It is so good. Oh my gosh. By the way, I'm using the Tatcha Violet C Radiance mask. My mom got me this for Christmas last year and it's one of my favorite face masks. It is so good. Hi, Shosha, good girl. Are you my reading buddy? Oh my gosh, you are so cute. I look like an alien. We have all the books here and the agenda. So for today I have Grace Notes page 228, which I really feel like is a bit of a stretch, but like I have to. This much more, that's doable. And then I have it to be finished on Monday. Fingers crossed. For today I put page 10 on this. We're really gonna work through it slowly. This I'm gonna do like 20-page increments. I'm already exhausted doing this. Holy shit. Maybe I won't start with that. We're gonna do Hermione. Maybe today do to page 20. And we'll do, the thing is like I have to have this read for this week, but we'll do 44 tomorrow. And then 85. To you post face mask. I've honestly been playing catch up ever since I got home from New York. So many things I have to be doing right now. This morning I placed my order with ThredUp. I found such good stuff. Stay tuned for that. I did that while I watched the new season of Selling Sunset. Amazing so far. I'm such a reality TV girl. It's so bad. I'm tackling Grace Notes. School books are a hit or miss. I mean, like books I get assigned, I'd say pretty much 50% I adore, 50% is a mission. This book I am so into from the moment I started reading it. I think it's because of the emphasis on sound. The description of sound in this book is next level, as it should be given the protagonist, Catherine, is a composer. She really sees the world through sound, and you see that in the description, even though it is like a third person narrator. She's not the one narrating. It's very clear that we're in her head and we see the world through her eyes. Those are eyes that are very attuned to the sound that exists around her and in her world. And this is at the time where there was like the IRA and laws lots of tension between Protestants and Roman Catholics, and she's a Roman Catholic, or grew up in a Roman Catholic. What is wrong with me? She doesn't believe, but she comes from a very religious family, and I think at the time it was just the way things were. She moves away when she is going to school and gets a lot of shit because she uses drums that are Protestant drums, or that are part of the Protestant musical tradition. That kind of creates a divide between her and the people in her hometown, her and her family. She goes home in the novel for her father's funeral. There's lots of like flashbacks that are triggered by sounds she hears in her hometown, which I think that's another big thing we will be talking about, is how sound and memory are interconnected, which reminds me of discussions we had last year with the same professor in Mrs. Dalloway, and how, I forget her name, but Mrs. Dalloway hears sounds and is brought back to moments of her childhood by those sounds. I think that's so interesting. We read for this class an introduction article about sound studies in literature, I think, how vast the vocabulary is for describing sound, and I'm noticing it so much more reading through that lens. How many adjectives, adverbs exist to describe sound and what we hear. It's really cool. I'm loving the book. I also just wrote down all the books I have to read. Basically this week I have 5 books. I have Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce, which I had to read last week, but I didn't. I'm listening to it on audiobook, which is what one of you recommended I do. Thank you. Life-changing. There's only so many hours I can dedicate to having a book open. Like, I have to be doing other things, and I'm a good multitasker. There's definitely a lot of like me zoning out when I'm listening to the audiobook, but I get the gist of it, and I think that's pretty much all that matters. I just don't want to not have read something, because these classes are more participatory, they're more demanding, and like, I think it is important to be acquainted with all the material. I know some people are able to not read everything and do really well, but I just feel better, and I feel like I have a guilty conscience when I don't read. So this is what we're doing, which is why I have my AirPods in, because I'm listening to it as I've been cleaning my room, which is another thing, by the way, that's like on the to-do list. My parents knocked down my room and put up new shelves and stuff, so I have my shit everywhere. I need to organize my life. It is horrifying. I'll show you guys the before and after. Right now it is awful. My closet was just a shit show before, so I'm happy about it. I'm having to read that, and then Grace Notes for this class, Hermione, which is also for the same class that I'm listening to, Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. I have to read for this week. I have Blue Sisters, which I have to finish, and there's one more. Oh, Living a Feminist Life by Sarah Ahmet, which is a scholarly monograph, so it's definitely more of a production to read. Like, it's not a story. It's academic, through and through, theory vibes. I have to write a summary of it, which is super daunting, because how do you summarize a 270 something page book in like 3 pages? That's conciseness at its peak. I'm not the most concise person. I'm like a rambler, but it'll be a good exercise. It's just gonna be a challenge for sure. I'm also right now gonna go read Charlotte Smith's sonnets for this class that I'm also reading the scholarly monograph for. It's such a cool course. It's basically like poetry, I think, from the Romantic period. I don't know why I said that like that. So lots of women writers were writing in a time where women did not have the same rights as men, like not even close. And I mean, I say that, but like 50 years ago we didn't have the same rights as men, but this is like next level, 1800s. So it's very interesting, and this reflection that I'm gonna write is a bonus assignment, because I feel like I need to get the points where I can get them in this class, because it's all poetry and I know yet about poetry. The reflection has to be on the prefaces that Charlotte Smith wrote to her elegiac sonnets, and a letter that she wrote to, I think, an editor or a publisher. She was trying to get to publish her stuff. It is just very evident that she had to really fight to get herself published, that it was not an easy feat, that the money side of it was definitely tricky as a woman, because everything you owned was your husband's, and I forget, I think that she had like trouble with her husband. She had 12 kids to support. I know some of them died very young. She had a lot on her hands, and I think she wrote to survive. That's like the extent of what I know. And then yeah, I have to edit my video for this week. I have a new editor, Lily, and we're working through getting files across. It's a whole process, so that's been taking up time. I hope that we can just figure that out so that that can be something I can get off my plate. That would be amazing. I also have to do like a little poetry cheat sheet for myself, because a lot of people in my seminars are English lit majors, so they know a lot about poetry or have taken poetry courses, know the vernacular, all these things that I don't. Like, what's an enjambment? I have no idea. And I've heard it like 3 times last week. I couldn't even define a sonnet, really, to be honest. So it's a little bit concerning. Let's get to work. Hey Siri, define a sonnet. weave fantastic garlands for my head. Like, I don't even know what to think of this, dude. Personal muse is from my earliest hours, smile on the rugged, and still a sportive hand has snatched wild underlying. Hey Siri, define WAN, W-A-N. I knew it! I caved. I am now a Stanley Cup owner. Is that what it's called? Yeah, right? It's life-changing. It is so satisfying to drink from. Also, I think I'm like self-conscious about drinking because I make such loud sounds. Like, that's me normally. This thing is massive. It's like 800 milliliters of water. She just keeps me nice and hydrated. So I'm just lazy with water, honestly. I just am. This is what used to be in my room. Gone. This is charity, and this is like all stuff that was in my room that I need to reorganize. It's a lot. Basically everything that I had also in my closet was kind of taken out, so this is a huge mess. God awful. It was worse before though. I need to put my mirror back up, and then my parents put up this shelf that I still need to organize. I'm gonna put more of my bags, make it less cluttered, and then this one as well for books, bags, and just nice things. I'll show you guys the details and everything when I'm done organizing it. So yeah, I just need to clear up my whole floor. And then my closet, I need to organize all that. The rest is like pretty neat. I need to reorganize this. This is all my workout gear, swimsuits I'm reorganizing. That's why my mom and I are going to Rona. We're gonna get some bins for that stuff. I need to go through my pants. And then I have this thing for shoes, pants, socks, and bags. And then we are also putting up new things on my wall so that I can hang some more bags all up there. And then I also have a new shoe rack thing.
You know, you've had your...
And then something for bathing suits.
This is deeper.
Oh.
This is gonna be...
The fact that you measured with your hands, I can't.
Wow. Do you still have your other vinaigrette? Because of getting pregnant and also small...
Finished my poetry cheat sheet, so I feel a lot better having that done. Listening to the artist, or the portrait of the artist as a young man. I just put all my bathing suits in that bin. All of my socks are up here. I'm gonna tackle this now, which is all of my workout stuff. I wanna, first of all, go through everything and then organize it nice. And I'm gonna move it up here. Down here, I'm gonna do perfume, accessories, jewelry. I've basically always had my jewelry in a jewelry box or like on this jewelry stand thing, but it gets so dusty and I never remember the jewelry that I have because it's like tucked away somewhere. So I want to be able to lay it all out, organize it so that it's an easier accessory to reach for. So we're gonna use my drawers. Might get like some organizers in my drawers later, we'll see. Let's just start by organizing all this workout stuff. Over it, just spent like 2 hours doing that.
Oh my god. What is it?
Let's have a taste. I'm so exhausted. I feel like it wasn't a Sunday. Like I did not rest and relax whatsoever. And it's just the beginning of the semester. I'm kind of overwhelmed, I can't lie. Tomorrow's gonna be very brutal. We're gonna have a chill night though. I deserve it. Watch something, relax.
Much work that must be took and dedication or whatever. It's